In this video, I'm going to show you how to cover a moving part of a video with an emoji in CapCut. And I'll also show you a free workflow using keyframes in case motion tracking is locked behind the Pro feature. This is a super useful editing trick if you want to hide a face, censor private information, cover a logo, or just add a fun emoji that follows movement smoothly on screen. If this tutorial helps, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more CapCut tips and easy editing guides. Now, let's jump into it. First, open your CapCut project and place your video on the timeline. Make sure the clip is already in the editing workspace so you can clearly see the part you want to cover. Then, move the playhead to the starting frame where the moving object first appears. This matters because your emoji needs to begin tracking or animating from the exact moment the object starts moving. Next, add your emoji. You can do this by going to stickers or text, depending on the style you want. If you want a simple emoji look, stickers is usually the fastest option. Drag the emoji onto the track above your video so it sits as an overlay layer. Once it's on the timeline, stretch the emoji duration so it matches the length of the footage you want to cover. This is important because if the emoji is too short, it will disappear too early, and if it's too long, it can become difficult to manage later. Now resize the emoji and position it directly over the moving target. Try to make it large enough to fully cover the area, but not so large that it blocks more of the video than necessary. You want the emoji to look natural while still doing its job. At this stage, you can scrub through a few frames to make sure the placement looks correct at the beginning. Now, let's talk about tracking. Select the emoji layer, then open the tracking tab in the top right panel. If your version of CapCut supports it, you can choose motion tracking. Just keep in mind that this is a pro feature, so if you don't have access, I'll show you a free workaround in a moment. If motion tracking is available, adjust the yellow tracking box in the preview window so it frames the moving object as closely as possible. The better the box fits the subject, the more accurate the tracking will be. After that, set the direction to both. This helps CapCut track the object as it moves across the frame in different directions. Once everything is ready, click Start to analyze the movement. CapCut will process the clip and generate the tracking path automatically. Depending on the length of your video and how much movement there is, this may take a few moments. Once the analysis is finished, play the video back and verify the lock. Watch closely to see whether the emoji stays aligned with the moving object. If it shifts off target, you may need to reframe the yellow box or adjust the clip position slightly and run the tracking again. Small changes can make a big difference here. If you don't have the Pro Motion tracking feature, don't worry. You can still do this manually with keyframes for free. Here's how. Select the emoji layer, then go to the beginning of the clip. Set your first keyframe at the starting position directly over the moving object. Move forward a little bit on the timeline, then reposition the emoji to follow the target. CapCut will automatically create another keyframe. Repeat this process through the clip, moving frame by frame or by small intervals so the emoji stays centered over the moving part. This free keyframe method is a little more time, but it gives you full control and works well when the motion is simple or when you need a precise manual adjustment. If the subject moves fast or changes direction often, add more keyframes to keep the emoji aligned. If the movement is smooth, you can use fewer keyframes and still get a clean result. A good tip is to zoom into the preview window when placing keyframes. That makes it easier to line up the emoji exactly where you want it. Also, keep an eye on the edges of the emoji so it fully covers the part you're trying to hide. If needed, slightly increase the size so there's no accidental reveal during movement. Another helpful tip is to preview the section multiple times before exporting. Even if the emoji looks fine at first glance, it may drift a little during playback. Catching that early saves time and helps your final video look much more polished. So to quickly recap, place your video on the timeline, add the emoji on an upper track, stretch it to match the clip, position it over the moving target, then either use motion tracking if you have access or manually animate it with keyframes for a free solution. After that, play it back and make sure the emoji stays locked in place. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next CapCut tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.